Hey, my name is Sumit Ringwala. I'm one of the interventional cardiologists here at Bellin Medical Center. I'd like to talk a little bit about nutrition and the importance of nutrition in everyday life. We really value a heart healthy diet, and I think that really is one of the most important risk factors that you can actually modify or change. Stopping smoking, exercising, making sure your cholesterol is under control, blood pressure is under control. But one of the things that you can do that's pretty inexpensive and it's something that you can do right away is change your diet. So I just wanted to go through what I carry in my lunchbox every day. I find that it's important that if you're going to tell your patients how to eat and to eat right, and you better do it yourself. So let's kind of go through my lunch satchel. All right, so when we look at what's in there, there is a big helping of fruits and vegetables, basically. So you have 3 oranges, an apple, and a pear. I should probably put something underneath that. And then big box of carrots. I find that carrots are something that I had an old attending at one of the places I trained and said, you can either have a carrot or a stent, you pick. That was a quote that kind of stuck with me, because if you eat well, you can avoid having to go to the heart doctor and avoid having stents and stuff put into your arteries and avoid crud going into your arteries. So I think it's important to kind of, again, eat well. More fruits, and this is soup that my wife should be the one that really gets the kudos, but this is potato leek soup with vegetables in it, and then muesli, and the muesli has chia seeds, oatmeal, bananas, and apples, and what else? Flax seeds. And what you do is you stick all that in a pot, and then either oat milk or regular like low-fat milk overnight. Let it all soak in, and then eat it the next day, and it tastes awesome. And then we put some honey in it for sweetness. That's it. And so I wanted to kind of go through what I would normally tell my patients about how to have a more heart-healthy diet. I've had many patients that come and ask, where do you even start? And what I say is, really, you begin in the produce aisle. If you live in the produce aisle, you're automatically winning. You try to eat as many fruits and vegetables as possible. By the simple act of eating more fruits and vegetables and eating more fresh stuff, you're going to be less hungry to eat the bad stuff. So what I would say, eat lots and lots of fruits and vegetables. Eat, less, dairy, eggs, and meat, and cut out the processed foods. If you can simply do that, you will find that you will be losing weight. You'll be healthier. Your cholesterol and your blood pressure will go down, and you're just going to be able to move towards being a healthier person. When we look at some examples, I've had people that have gone all the way to being a whole food plant-based diet, and when they've done that, they've actually lost 20, 30, 40 pounds. They've gone from needing multiple pills for their blood pressure to actually coming off of 2, 3, 4 blood pressure medicines. Their diabetes has improved. Their cholesterol has gone down to the point where they, at some point you potentially even think about stopping a statin. And it really makes the point of, you are what you eat. And if you eat a whole bunch of stuff that's bad for you, that all just gets deposited in your body, whether it's in the fat around your belly or it's in the arteries of your heart.
So some people might ask you, what exactly is processed food? So can you give us an explanation of what constitutes as processed food?
So when you think about processed foods, you think about things that if you go in nature, they're not actually what they look like. So I'll give an example. If you go in and you go out to a tree, this pear is really going to look like what you see. You're going to pick it and it's a pear. It's a whole food. When you take that and you cut it and put it together and mix it together, that doesn't count as being processed. When you're cooking things, that starts a little bit of processing by cooking it with oils and putting it in blenders and stuff like that. But the real processing comes when they add all these additives and preservatives into all these foods. And if you look at anything that's in a box in the middle of the grocery store, you're going to have water, sugar, corn oil, and then they're going to have high fructose corn syrup, and then like 17 other things that you have absolutely no idea what they are. That's the processing part of it. There's things that make it supposedly taste better, so you eat more of it. There are things in there that make it last forever. So if something is going to be sitting on in your counter and you can eat it 4 years from now and it tastes the same as it did before, that's processed. That's not true food, and it's probably not good for you. Twinkies. You know, they had that movie about the zombie apocalypse, and there's, you know, people eating Twinkies and it tastes the same. It's because what's in a Twinkie is 100% processed. It's like a plastic. So when you look at the ingredients in any of these boxes, that if it's got a whole bunch of stuff that you don't know what it is, it's a processed foods. The other thing is that if you stay in the produce aisle, you don't have to worry about it because none of that is processed. If you stay and if you are eating meat, if you're eating lean meat, that is not processed. If you're you know, some milk has some processing in it, but it's not a lot, and cheeses have some processing in it, but not a lot. But in general, the things that are in the middle of the grocery store are all processed. I've really enjoyed sharing my lunchbox with you, and I hope that the next time you go to a grocery store, you can do a little bit more of living in the produce aisle.